That's what it's all about right there. Passion, grit, and a genuine belief in the guys around you to get the job done. There are special things brewing up in Bloomington, Indiana right now. Indiana has been a gift to college football this season. I'm going to explain why in this video. If you're new here, please subscribe to The Era with Brian Gregoire. This is a channel that covers college football, the NFL, and college basketball from a business standpoint. We're building this community brick by brick, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. So hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Several years ago, I watched a documentary on YouTube about Josh Allen. It was called A Glitch in the Matrix, and it was made by Sound Visual Productions. And shout out to Sound Visual Productions because it was a phenomenal documentary. I still remember it to this day. It went into depth about how Josh Allen was a zero-star quarterback coming out of high school. He had no offers from D1 programs at all, and he was shipping his tape to coaches all around the nation just to pitch himself, to get a little bit of attention, to get even the slightest look from recruiters from D1 programs. But he never got it. He was completely overlooked the entire time, and he had no choice but to go to JUCO and battle it out for a few years before getting his opportunity at Wyoming. And he shined up in Laramie and became a first-round pick. And now, well, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. A true glitch in the Matrix. It doesn't make sense at all. His story doesn't make sense. What you can condense it down to is grit, determination, work ethic, and relentlessness. That is what has allowed Josh Allen to grow and evolve as a player and separate himself from the competition. You can say the same thing about Indiana right now because they are truly a glitch in the matrix in college football. And like Josh Allen, their story just doesn't make sense. I mean, this is one of the losingest programs in D1 when it comes to football. But yet, they went from that being part of their identity to now becoming the number one team in all of college football in just 2 years. And what does it come down to? Grit, determination, work ethic, and relentlessness. It doesn't make sense, but yet it does. Indiana has been a true glitch in the college football matrix. Since the inception of NIL, there's been a common belief in the college football universe that it's those teams that have the most money that can go out and acquire 4 stars and 5 stars left and right that'll dominate and win championships. And while that may be partially true, Indiana has directly defied that logic. This Indiana team this year is constructed of 2 stars, 3 stars, and a few 4 stars. Let's just go down the list here. Omar Cooper Jr., one of Indiana's best receivers, was a 3-star prospect. Roman Hemby, one of Indiana's best running backs, was a 3-star prospect. Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback of the Hoosiers, who's going to win this year's Heisman Trophy, and he deserves it. He was a 3-star prospect and a 4-star transfer. And how about Kaylon Black? Well, he was a 2-star running back and a 3-star transfer. So some of this team's biggest stars were 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars at best. The most incredible thing about this team is that it has gone head-to-heads with teams that are chock full of 4 and 5 stars twice this season in Oregon and Ohio State, and they won. And what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that it is still about coaching and player development in college football. You can have all of the 4 and 5-star talent in the world, and that's great. But you've got to be able to develop those guys. And you have to equip those guys with the skills, both tangible and intangible, to be their very best when the lights are the brightest. You saw Indiana do that twice this year, going up to Eugene back in October, where very few teams come out alive, and beating the Ducks fair and square. and then beating Ohio State at Lucas Oil Stadium with all eyes on you in the Big Ten Championship. I mean, that's just impressive. And Ohio State and Oregon, those are two teams with dudes. 5 stars, 4 stars, left and right. Guys are going to the league, first rounders. And at surface level, you would think, this Indiana team has heart. They have grit. But they're going to go up against those dudes, and they're just going to be overpowered. Well, no. They were just as physical, if not more physical, than both Oregon and Ohio State. Why? Because that's the standards that they're held to in practice. Those practices are incredibly physical, and they prepare to play teams like Oregon and Ohio State. Indiana plays above their means because that's what they prepare for. They win their games on Wednesday and Tuesday in practice, and it shows on the field. And Indiana has been a gift to college football because they show that the right things still matter. I was getting a little bit concerned about the direction of college football these past several years because it was being preached that it's all about money. It's all about how many 5 and 4 star guys you can get. And so it's those teams that have the most money that are going to dominate. Well, no. It still comes down to developments, and it still comes down to how well you prepare, and it comes down to how fundamentally sound you are. That was another key victory. That was another key to victory for Indiana against Oregon and Ohio State, was that they were fundamentally sound. They didn't make a lot of critical mistakes, and their opponents did. And so Indiana was able to prevail in both of those games. College football has also needed a guy like Curt Cignetti for a while. When Nick Saban retired back in early 2024, it left college football with a void when it comes to head coaches. You know, guys that are incredible coaches but are outspoken and aren't afraid to speak their minds. Well, college football has gotten one in Curt Cignetti. And Kirby Smart is still the face of college football. He's still the best coach in college football. But Curt Cignetti is a guy who's unfiltered and unafraid to speak what's on his mind. And people are starting to listen to him. His word has weight because of what he's done with this Indiana program. And he also makes college football interesting, just like Saban made college football interesting. And I'm not at all comparing Curt Cignetti to Nick Saban, but it's what he brings to the game that college football has been missing since Nick Saban. And so that's another way that this Indiana team has been a gift to college football overall and something that's needed for a while now. I have no idea how this Indiana team will actually perform in the CFP, but I feel like we're at an inflection point right now in college football, and Indiana has the opportunity and the ability to change college football forever. In this age of pay to play, Indiana has the ability to show that at the end of the day, it's still about the right things. Player development, coaching, how you build your staff, how you prepare, fundamentals, and character building. When you look at a lot of these Indiana players, they have great character. And that's a direct reflection of the program that they're a part of. College football has been and will always be about developing young men to be successful in the real world, whether it's on the gridiron or being a part of the workforce. It's not about how much you're being paid to be on the team that you're playing for, and it's not about looking for the next opportunity every time a season comes to an end if things don't go your way. It's about being a part of the program that you committed to, completely buying into it, being developed as a player and as a man. That's the process that college football has always been about, and Indiana has the opportunity to remind the entire college football world of that this season. Let me know what y'all think about this take in the comments section below. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great day.